Hallelujah. 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 Anybody feel like giving God some praise in this house? Yeah. Come on, everybody that's going through something, been through something, coming out of something, give God a shout in this house. Come on. Hallelujah. Put those hands together, everybody. Oh, yeah. Voice of one crying out in the wilderness. This is the sound of one crying out in the rain. This is the voice of one crying out from the mountaintop. Yeah, yeah. This is the sound of one crying out in their pain. Incline your ear to hear that sound. You know that voice so well. Incline your ear to hear our hearts. For we are the children you rescued from them. And I know you too well to be foreknown. I'm not just a stranger to you, Father. I'm a child that carries your name. Father, you hear me when I call from the mountain. You come running in the midst of my pain. For I am the pixie, praise in the midst of the rain. Oh yeah. Voice of a mother screaming out for her children. We got any mothers out there? This is the sound of a father who isn't there. Oh, this is the voice of a nation that cries for revival. This is the sound of a church that is calling for prayer. Incline your ear to hear that sound. You know that voice so well. Incline your ear to hear our hearts, for we are the children. Come on, with those hands together, say, I know. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Yeah. Yes, I can. So you can get this groove in the back of a can. You can make it round the world with the holes in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World.
Scoop it, y'all, we got it. 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 Scoop it, y'all, we got it.
That's how we go. This is how it games the press pro. That's how it goes. This is how it games the press pro. That's how it goes. This is how it games the press pro. That's how it goes. This is how it games the press pro. And now, get ready for Kendrick Haskins and Lloyd Spence, the press and the pros. Let's go.
Mute button, brother.
All right, there we go. Let's try this again. So there goes my melancholy opening. But I'm just talking and rambling, and they're gonna need to unmute to do this. But we do open in a very melancholy way, sending our thoughts and prayers to Louisville, and more specifically the UPS family. I'm sure if Kendrick is like I am, who's lived in Louisville or been around Louisville or connected to Louisville all of our lives, we got a lot of friends and family that work for UPS. And I'm sure today, as well as the entire Louisville community, we have been rocked by the horrific events that took place last evening. And we just want to send our thoughts and prayers to everybody involved, the families who lost a loved one, and hope that healing can take place, and hopefully things can just get a little bit better today. Hopefully this time that you spend watching this today will just put at least a smile on your face. So, Kendrick, you got any thoughts on that, brother?
Yeah, like you said, thoughts and prayers to the families involved and all of this, especially those on board of the aircraft when it crashed. Thoughts and prayers go to UPS and their family, and everyone who has anything to do with this. Is horrific. The video, I'm sure most people have seen the videos by now. The video's horrific. And for people who are not from here, who don't realize where the airport is and location, we got, as somber as it sounds, as bad as it sounds, we got very lucky that this could have been 1,000 times worse, because
Yeah.
not far from the plane crash site, in one direction, there's a high school, Louisville Male High School's right there. In the other direction, even closer to the plane crash, that is Ford. And a lot of employees working in that Ford factory. And it's a Ford factory that's right there nearby where that plane crash happened. So as terrible
by close,
as,
we mean literally next door. Like
yes.
Walk from the airport to Ford.
It's literally the backyard of Ford is the airport. Exactly. And so as tragic as everything is, it could have been way worse. So thank the Lord that it wasn't worse than what it was.
Yeah. Thank you to the official pastor of Noise Media coming in perfect timing as usual, sending his love and condolences. So yes, we will be praying for that community. And so, to borrow from one of our media brethren, Mike Greenberg, we hope that our little time here today not distracts you from that. Nothing will distract you from that, but at least we can put a smile on your face a little bit, just to have you, give you an opportunity to think about something a little bit different. So I don't know. I'm not even sure that's even appropriate, but we're going to do the best we can with what we got. So
yeah, and it's crazy. Even the effect that it's had on everything else. So they canceled school today.
Sure. Because
so many roads are closed right around, and basically, because of Male High School being right there, they had to cancel for Male. Well, the way it works, if you cancel for one, you have to cancel for everybody. You can't just have one school canceled. So all schools canceled. Now, I mean, football, for sports wise, as unimportant as sports is at this point, our high school football playoffs start on Friday.
Yeah.
And a lot of games have already been moved from Friday to Thursday. So, and a lot of teams, a lot of games are being moved out of town. And so it's gotten real hectic really fast.
Yeah. It's not a small problem. But again, it is a small problem in comparison to the actual event itself. So again, we don't want to diminish that. It's shocking. I was actually talking to one of my big brothers who works at the post office, who is also very, very close, and he told me about this in real time. He had said, "Bro, it's chaos over here." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "We just had a plane crash." I said, "Oh no!" And so this is happening in real time, and even before the news had it, he had it. So it's crazy. But anyway, we will. We'll just keep our thoughts and prayers on the city of Louisville, rocked with this situation. And again, UPS, man, that's never what you want. You never think somebody's going to work for the last time, but this is the reality that they're dealing with today. And we just keep our thoughts and prayers with everybody connected to all of this. So with that being said, Kendrick, we're gonna do our best to do a show. And do what we do here. So we will do that. Let's start with the headlines and hot takes. And it just goes for you personally. It goes from bad to ridiculous. I don't even know where to start with this story because if I'm being honest with you, I've watched the videos, I've watched the press conference, I've even watched the games. One of the games my team was playing. I still don't understand what the beef is, but apparently there is massive beef in Memphis, and they don't even really cook beef ribs like that. It's mostly pork ribs, but that's a whole other conversation. But Ja is not happy. He is the furthest thing from happy, and I feel like this is not a real time problem. I feel like this stems back to the Taylor Jenkins days, and maybe they never resolved, but it feels a lot like our private business as a family being discussed publicly. Mm-hmm. And so here we are. And when you got a guy saying things at a press conference like, "Go ask them," which I got my own feelings about that. It's very uncomfortable right now in Memphis. But here we are. Ja says he's lost his joy Kendrick Haskins, you being a Memphis Grizzly fan and a proud and illustrious graduate of Murray State. What are your thoughts?
I feel like there's fault to go all the way around in this one. I heard a good take from Amin Al Hassan the other day, and he was talking about that, longtime NBA guy,
Yeah.
funny guy on Levitard. He was like, everybody's going to be quick to jump on Ja on this. He's like, but some of this has got to be on the new coach, because when you take over a team, the first person you need to sell and win over is the star. And obviously this did not happen between the new coach and Ja Morant.
Right.
And I kind of feel like, I think with the 1 game suspension, that was just kind of a save face move. But I'm not 100% sure that the organization backs the coach on this one, because Ja played the next game. He played he served the suspension and played the next game. I think he had like 22 points the next game. And so, because I don't think they're 100% ready to part ways with Ja, because, let's be honest, it's the Grizzlies.
Right.
When they had one of the best players in the league, they've always been the sum of his parts. There's never been one guy who's been the guy. And it's Memphis. It's a small market team that has to build through the draft. It's very difficult to get free agents to go to small markets these days. And so I don't think they're really willing to give up on Ja. And 2, and his trade value has plummeted. And so they're kind of stuck. And so even if they totally agree with the coach, they really can't. I think they're in a rock and a hard place where they really can't do anything with Ja, because A, his trade value's gone down, and B, he's the first time they've had a real star on their team.
And by first time, we mean like literally the first time. Like, you can kind of say Zach Randolph, but not really. You can kind of say Pau Gasol, but not really. Ja is the first legitimate, oh my God, he looks like a future Hall of Famer they've ever had, right?
Right.
And as a franchise player, we'll say it that
way. Even going back to when they were in Vancouver.
Yeah, like they just have never had the guy. And now they have the guy. So I got a lot of thoughts on this as far as this whole situation, but I'll keep them very succinct. I don't disagree with what you're saying, in that it feels like the coach kind of screwed this up. Like, it doesn't feel like he is connecting. Because if you're taking over a team, the first buy-in, coaching 101, is get the star on board, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't feel like he got that done at all. They are not on the same page at all. So that's number 1. Number 2, though, I don't know what the organization is doing, in the sense of, because on one hand, you're right. Yeah, he was allowed to suspend him, and we don't know what was said in that locker room, although you get the sense from all the reports that you're hearing that it was contentious. It was extremely contentious. So I get the suspending him thing, and as I texted you when this was all going down, this is wild that it's happening in October. Like, you don't
see. The season just started.
Right, the season just started. To be falling apart in October is weird and wild work.
Put it in perspective, this all started. The NBA Cup games hadn't even started yet when this happened.
Hadn't even started with the Cup yet. Like, we haven't even got to we've only had 2 TNT broadcasts. Like, what are we talking about right now? Or 3 TNT broadcasts, or not TNT, but inside the NBA on ESPN broadcasts. So it's weird to have this happening so quickly in the season. Now, having said that, my only contention against Ja is this. And I think I heard Carmelo Anthony say this, and I think I 1,000% agree. And Carmelo, of all people, would know about this. Regardless of what the organization does, you got to still be you. Mm-hmm. I don't love his answers at these press conferences. They're coming across, in my humble opinion, as kind of immature. Like, go ask them. That's not fair. You still got to be professional. You still got to We've all had jobs where something was going on at the job, and regardless of the tension that was at that job, you still got to go do your job, right? So That's my only challenge with him. And I know you said, well, he played the other day, he got 18 or whatever it was, so that was cool. Yeah, but even in the post-press conference, go do your job. Hey, man, I don't want to talk about what's going on with us. That's private. But here's what's happening on the basketball court. I got 18 tonight. We didn't get the win, but we're going to keep playing. We're going to keep, as long as I'm here in a Memphis jersey, we're going to keep doing our thing. And the reason why you have to do that is because that's for your current team and possibly the team that you're going
future
to.
Team, yes.
Right. So that's where I land on this whole thing. I just need Ja, this other side of Ja that is constantly being presented as immature. I need him to catch up to that part and his public thing needs to get a lot better when he's presenting himself. Like, you got to present yourself as somebody who understands both the basketball of the NBA and the business of the NBA. And that's the challenge I have with this whole situation.
As the thing is, and it goes back to something that you and I have been talking about on this show, even before we had this show, when we would talk about it on Believing the ACC. They don't have any vets. They've never had a vet in that locker room, and it shows. It shows all the time, and I do think part of the problem too on the court is I feel like the team is leaning more towards Jaren Jackson, and I don't think that's really sitting well with Ja. And so,
but it's kind of his fault though, isn't it? Because it's like
you got to go with who's healthy. Because Ja's always either healthy or suspended.
And you got to go with who is the least problematic. Like, if you're going to build around somebody, one of the things you want to build around is peace and culture in the organization. And Jared represents peace and culture. I mean, he ain't going to give you no problems. He ain't going to act a fool. He going to do his job.
No, Jared's just a jokester and a big silly kid, but you don't have to worry about him getting in any kind of trouble. I think, a lot of that comes from his dad played in the league, so he knows,
he understands the culture.
He understands how the league works. And with Ja, if there was ever a team and ever a player who needed a vet, it's Ja, because I think he does have the conception, and probably rightfully so, to be honest, that he feels like he's the king of Memphis, and because he is Memphis. They love him there, and
listen, and rightfully so, rightfully so,
and he's ingratiated himself into the community too, and so that's the catch-22 that the organization is looking at. But the thing is, eventually, they ain't gonna have to either make a move or something's gonna have to happen. And with his value so low, I mean, as crazy as it sounds, Ja's playing himself out of the league.
Great question by Pastor Cord. He says, "Why are some of the vets in the league pulling him to the side and mentoring him?" I think it's a thing where you have to want to hear them,
right?
And I don't know how much Ja. It's kind of like if you're being handed the franchise. So here's the irony of this conversation that we're having, and the irony of your question, Pastor Cord. Zion is out again. Not this time. It's not a foot. It's his old standby, a hamstring. This guy has had more hamstring pulls in his NBA career than I have had in my entire 51 years of living. I have never seen such a fragile hamstring. And so he's out at least a week. So I say that because, once again, here's a player that a franchise has handed the keys over to
at a very young age.
Right, at a very young age, with no vets, and even with a veteran GM in Joe Dumars, you're still seeing some of the same things. Zion Williamson is out again early in the season for like the third or fourth year in a row. At what so it begs this question, and I hadn't planned on doing will he be traded for both of these gentlemen, but you got to now ask the question for both of these gentlemen. You got to want to listen to your vets. First of all, I'm gonna give Shaq and Charles Barkley a lot of credit, because Shaq called out Donovan Mitchell years ago when he was at the Jazz. And he called him out in such a public way, that it was like, wow, he's really on his head. Like, everybody was kind of shocked.
Mm-hmm.
But Donovan didn't take it that way. Donovan took it as, here's the OG looking at my game from an objective place and saying, you can do more. You know what? Maybe I can. Let me step back and look at my game, look at my situation, and see if I can do more. Now, it didn't work out for Utah, but it's damn sure working out for Cleveland. So there's ways to do this. For Zion, and even for Ja, because Ja got mad at Kendrick Perkins for calling him out. Well, you can get mad all you want to, but Kendrick is right. Kendrick Perkins is right. Because raise your hand if you remember all the times that ESPN decided to go to Memphis and do anything. Exactly. It doesn't happen. So the fact that Kendrick convinced them to do it, he's 1,000% correct. Bruh, I'm putting myself out on the line for you because I believe in you. And the fact that you don't want to step up and be mature enough, and it's ironic for me saying this because it's the exact same thing I would say about Zion. Bruh, we putting ourselves out there for you. And you don't want to be mature enough to just make these necessary extra steps. We're not asking a lot. We're just asking what you ask of franchise players.
This is one of the things that we complain about this generation in general. It's like they can't take constructive criticism. Anything, Charles Barkley talks about it all the time. It's like any criticism is viewed as hate.
Yeah.
And at some point, you've got to grow up and take constructive criticism because you're not perfect. None of us are perfect.
None of us are perfect.
And we all deserve criticism from time to time. And it's like, anytime that anybody says anything, oh, you hating, they hating. No, no, not everything's hating. Yeah. Get out of your feelings. Quit being all sensitive and listen to somebody for once. So, and to answer Pastor Court, I'll go out on a limb and say probably some vets have reached out to Ja. You got to be willing to take the message.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like a lot of these younger guys are willing to take that information. And like, because like you look at a guy like Shea. Shea's had he gets detractors all the time to this day. And you don't see Shea lashing out and all this stuff happening with Shea. And he came in with far less hype than either one of them. These are the number 1 and number 2 picks in the draft. Just 5-6 years ago.
Just 5-6 years ago.
And we're debating on if they're going to be traded and how would a trade work with two people whose trade value is so low because of their actions. That's crazy.
And it is crazy, but it's also very, very true. Because I don't know how to answer this question. If I'm being honest, I don't know how to answer this question. Because people have eyes. GMs have eyes, and they have ears, and they've heard it, and they've seen it in real time. So I don't know what would you offer for Zion Williamson? What would you offer?
Yeah, because like, if be honest, I'm 1,000 times more willing to trade for Ja than Zion. Because Zion is always hurt. It's always hurt. I don't know how much he's hurt, but he's always hurt. And at least when Ja's hurt, you can see why Ja's hurt. It's because of the way he plays.
Right.
But
Zion, at least I'm going to get 60 games out of Ja. Possibly. Probably. Yeah. At least. I'm not getting that out of Zion.
He even said that his goal this year before the season was to play all 82. Now, he got himself kicked out of one already. But his goal is to play 82 games. And the way he plays, there's no way in the world he's going to play 82 games. He's too wild and frail. But Zion, you've never heard that come from Zion.
And you never will.
Even when every year he comes in shape, he looks great at the beginning of the year. But we know he's not going to play 82. He knows he's not going to play 82. And so, and I think a big difference between now and back in the day is like, if you're the number 1 and 2 in the pick and draft, you're always going to go to a crappy team. There's a reason why they're number 1 and number 2 picks in the first place.
Yeah.
But back in the day, it was an older league. Now the league is so young that you got vets that are like 3 years in. And so there's a distinct difference. I mean, even back in, when the Clippers were always terrible, they had vets. They just had a bad owner.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's not like that.
I don't even know what you give for either one of these guys. Like
Because I heard the rumor floated out there for Ja to Miami, which I think that would be good for him because of the Heat culture and the way that they run their franchise. It would be good for him personally.
It would absolutely help him. It would absolutely help him because he needs to be around a Bam Adebayo who is extremely professional and extremely disciplined and going to do the right things, going to make the right decisions on and off the court. And
he needs an Eric Spoelstra.
He needs an Eric Spoelstra that's going to hold, and a Pat Riley who's going to hold him accountable.
They're not going to put up with this mess.
They're not going to. And by the way, who are going to walk him to the wall and say, "This is where you are." There's no on the other side of that wall is you being out of the league. So now you have to decide what you want to do. Because we'll help you go forward and be successful and be great, and they'll build a statue out here next to Dwayne Wade. Now, hopefully, it'll look better than the one Dwayne Wade has, but they'll build a statue for you because you have that kind of talent. But the other side of this is you'll be out of the league next year. This is your choice. So I like the Miami part of this for sure, and I think Miami is probably, knowing Pat, he's probably taking a hard look at this because he has traditionally been the one man's trash is another man's treasure type of owner or type of GM. So I can see him pulling the trigger on this.
I don't know who they give up. You don't give up Tyler Hero for him, so who you give up?
You might.
I mean, you might. I don't know. I would like to see the two of them together.
Yeah, you might.
But I don't know.
That's a great question.
Because if they can pull that off,
yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty good core with him, Hero, Bam, and Khalil Ware. I guess Javi Jaquez Jr. it's going to be between Hero and Javi Jaquez, I would imagine.
You know what would be great for Memphis, for the Memphis side of this trade, and what they probably need? They need Javi Jaquez and Andrew Wiggins. And I say Andrew Wiggins.
And that's possible too. I forgot about Andrew Wiggins being there. That's very possible too.
Yeah. They need that because, like you said earlier, they need a true professional, true veteran, and his personality fits Jaren Jackson perfectly. So now you put a guy like that next to Jaren Jackson, you unlock Jaren Jackson once and for all, and then you got two very strong complementary parts for him to perform with. So now you don't lose the potential playoff team that you could have. It just looks very different than it did, with Ja. So, and I don't even know what kind of playoff team they are with Ja, if I'm being honest. I just, who knows? Like, they're not winning.
Well, I mean, and not even necessarily Ja, just their roster construction this year. I'm like, oh.
Exactly. Now with Ja, it's a little bit easier, like you said. With Zion, I have no idea. I don't even know where to start, because the question that for any team that's supposed to receive him is, okay, what are we offering? Like, I'm not offering you a first round for this dude. I'm not doing that. Why would I do that? Like, I don't know. I don't even know where to
skill set wise. I mean, him in Memphis, him next to Jaren and have Ja there. Skills, just skill set wise, would be awesome. But now you don't want those two headaches in the same building.
Do you want this guy around Memphis barbecue? Like, you and I both been to Memphis. You and I have spent considerable amount of time.
That's why I said skill set. I didn't say anything about off the floor. I said skill set wise.
But that's his problem. The off the floor stuff is the problem. Like, his inability to find any lane of discipline is his number one problem. And listen, I'm so tired of the Ja looks good at the beginning of the season narrative. That is so old to me, because he's gonna do that. That's who he is. Ja has more dieting.
Zion
has more of a dieting track record than Oprah Winfrey. Like, he gets in shape up and down more than Oprah did. And
he's like Big Luther, Little Luther.
He's Big Luther, Little Luther. And honestly, I don't even know which one I like the most. Like I never. So
we'll never see Little Luther that long.
you'll never see Little Zion that long, because now that he ain't playing this week, it's almost guaranteed he gonna come back 15 pounds heavier. Like it's just what it is. So I don't know what to do with Zion. I don't even know where to start. Like I don't have a location for the kid. I was gonna say Memphis, like you said, but I don't know if that's a good idea for them, because aren't you just swapping one problem for another? Like I don't know. It's crazy. This is a crazy start for both these franchises.
And like, as people, I mean, I've been around both of them, and they've seen but they were a lot younger at the time. Zion was a freshman, and then Ja was in his second year at Murray.
Yeah,
and they seem like good kids, even because when I talked to people at Murray when Ja was there, I mean, they absolutely loved Ja. They loved T, his daddy, and it's like once they got to the league, something changed. I don't know if it was the celebrity of the thing, the money of the thing, or whatever, but something changed from between going to small town Murray to big time Memphis. I'm sorry, Memphis, but
right, or big time New Orleans, the mega city of New Orleans.
Yeah, the smaller Louisville.
I don't even know if there's a million people in New Orleans. Are there even a million people in New Orleans?
Not since Katrina.
Okay.
No.
All right. I don't know what to do. I don't have an answer for either one, if I'm being honest with you. We're supposed to have an answer, but we don't. I don't. Other than to send him to obscurity, if you're at Memphis, if you're New Orleans, you send him to Utah and
now,
go back a haul from there.
I would pay to watch a reality show of Zion Williamson living in Utah.
1,000. That is Jameis Winston-esque territory. I would love.
Only thing is there's certain elements of Utah that may not be so fun.
That's just asking Draymond to punch somebody in the face. That's just,
yeah.
That's not gonna work. So who, Kuminga maybe?
Kuminga, I guess.
And Moody.
I don't know how John Steph would work on the floor either.
Yeah, defensively, that sounds awful.
Yeah,
that sounds awful. Like just a backcourt from hell. It's defensively anyway. Now, offensively, you got problems because you can't stop either one of them.
No.
But defensively, it would be awful.
It would,
and by the way, John started to look real Russell Westbrookish.
He's always looked Russell Westbrookish. It's always been his
Russell Westbrook today. Like he can't shoot outside. Like he's not a great shooter.
He's never been a great shooter.
Well, that's true, but now it's starting to look worse. Like at least he can make clutch shots, and now it's not even clutch shots. It's just like he's a bricklayer, and so
I think a lot of that has to do with just
the love of it.
Yeah,
could be that. Could be it. All right. Well, that's the negative news in the headlines right now. That's another headline story I think does not get enough attention, and the fact that is that the Bulls are actually really good.
Because there's a hesitancy because of certain things off the court with their best player.
Oh man, that is very true. I don't know. Yeah. Ooh, that's an uncomfortable thing, isn't it? So they are number one in the conference.
6-1, just lost their first game.
6-1, just lost their first game. They're playing very cohesive. Huh?
They lost their first game. It's to the Knicks.
To the Knicks. They're playing very cohesively. And also, that's maybe in Kendrick's words the weirdest team in the NBA. Like oh man, that's There's a reason why Bulls games aren't on TV right now.
Haven't been for years.
And haven't been for quite some time. Because why invoke the ire of groups that don't normally watch the NBA if you don't have to? It's a wildly uncomfortable situation. And we're not even going to tell you what it is, because you can look it up fairly easy. It's not hard to find what's going on, or the members of the Bulls team, or the member of the Bulls team that makes this conversation wildly uncomfortable. In fact, if you want more information, just ask the Thunder. They'll tell you exactly what happened.
And I've just had a today years old discovery.
What's that?
Trenton Flowers is on the Bulls roster.
When did this happen?
He's averaging 1.8 points a game.
Shout out to Trenton Flowers.
For those who don't know the Trenton Flowers story, he was a University of Louisville signee who went through all the summer workouts and then left the team to go to Australia like 2 weeks before the season started.
Yeah.
That's
I didn't know he was in the league.
I didn't know he was in the league. I didn't either. I was just looking at the Bulls roster, and I was like, I recognize that name.
Like, I know that guy. but it's working.
But outside of Josh Giddey, I mean, Basilis is playing great too, and he's one of those guys that kind of flies under the radar. I think part of it is just because people don't know how to say his name. But between him, I mean, they've got a good core, and the other part of it is, I mean, the goofy part of the NBA is when their three best players are pale skinned, per se. People don't take them seriously, and I'm not condoning that. It's just a reality. It's like most of their best players are white, and Kevin Porter is up there too, and so I'm not condoning. I think it's goofy, but that's the world we live in. Right. If you can ball, you can ball. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, if you can ball, you can ball. And Josh can ball.
Look at your Lakers.
Listen. Who knew?
Who knew? I'm sure we gotta get to that later. So
100%. We're headed there. We're headed there fairly quickly, actually. It's the Bulls are number one in the Eastern Conference right now. I don't know much longer.
The Eastern Conference is weird right now. Because everybody's only played 6 or 7 games so far.
Yeah,
but I mean the Bulls have started out the gate very well. The Sixers have been playing great, and Embiid is kind of an afterthought. Tyrese Maxey. I mean, I've always loved that kid anyway.
Yeah.
But the way him and the rookie are playing, Edgecombe, I mean, nobody saw this coming.
Nobody saw, especially not this fast. Now, inevitably, you got to believe that Edgecombe will at some point hit the rookie wall a little bit. But I don't know. Because having Tyrese Maxey can cover a multitude of sins. So he may not hit it as hard as you normally hit it.
Do you even bother bringing Paul George back at this time?
I don't. Why would I do that? I mean, I'm just being honest, and there's no shade because I like Paul George. I've always liked Paul George.
I've always liked him, but I mean,
but why would I do that?
It throws off chemistry bringing him in and out of the lineup.
Well, not only that, it's clear that my future is not in Paul George. I mean, I don't. What I need to be doing,
starting to get clear that it's not in Embiid either.
I that's what I said last week, and I was people were like, no, it can't. Listen, it can. When you start looking at numbers from a franchise perspective, you start counting up dollars, then it don't make sense to keep a guy that's making as much as he's making, but you're not getting the productive value. It doesn't make sense. And you're not winning the title this year, so why keep leveraging all of that if you can get out from under $300 million and open up all of your cap space and opportunity. And by the way, Philly is still an attractive place to play. It's Philadelphia. It's a big city, a lot of stuff going on.
Fans love you if you're good.
Fans love you when you playing right and doing right. I'm just saying it makes more sense for them to make changes than it does not to. But I know that's unpopular preaching and people get uncomfortable with that. I get it. Let's talk about the back pages right now. We talked about the Pelicans are just awful right now. And I feel for Willie Green because it feels like his days are numbered at this point. And that's coming from a friend because Joe Dumars and Willie Green, if you don't know, they're homies. But at some point, the homie going to have to have this conversation with the homie and be like,
the sad thing is it's not his fault.
It's not his fault. None of this is his fault.
The roster construction. You're not winning with that.
Yeah. I personally think he shouldn't fire him because I think they need to trade off, find the, I hate to say it this way, but I don't have a better way to say it. Find the sucker that's willing to take Zion and take a chance on him, and then let Willie see what he can do from there.
If there were ever two, I just had the thoughts just spring in my mind. If there were ever a time when there's two players that the rest of the league is like, if we had an expansion team, you just ship them off to this expansion team, John and Zion. They're like, can we speed up this expansion thing? We've been talking about it for 10 years.
They would do that tonight.
If there was an expansion team, yes.
They would go 1 and 2 again.
Yep.
For the second time in their career, Zion Morant and Zion Williamson go 1 and 2 in the draft, the expansion draft. So yeah, they've been awful. And then the other team that's been awful,
we expected them to be terrible.
Yeah, the Nets. I don't know what the Nets are doing. Like, I don't have any idea.
It's bad organization. I mean, at this point, some teams have off seasons. You have a bad season here and there, but there's some it's organizational. Yeah. The Nets are one of those. The Pelicans are one of those. And it's organizational. The Wizards are another one of those. It's just organizational from the top down. Charlotte.
Yeah. And by the way, Brooklyn might have one of the nicest arenas in the NBA.
Oh, that arena is awesome.
Yeah, it's really, really amazing.
The arena is awesome. The neighborhood around it is awesome. Yeah, I'm sure people in old Brooklyn it wasn't always like that, but
yeah, I love the jerseys. I low key want to get a Brooklyn jersey, but then also
I love everything about it. It's just they're so bad. I mean, I've been to that arena. I've been there a bunch, and it's unity. But I mean, it's a great arena. Everything's around it great, but that organization, whew.
Oh boy, they are awful. They are absolutely awful. Before we get to some other stuff, we have a Steve Ballmer update.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when Steve Ballmer had went on ESPN and he had said previously that, oh man, we ain't know nothing and I don't know how this all happened. And man,
his PR team should have never let him do that interview.
Oh, yeah, listen, I knew that as soon as he sat in that chair. I said, mm-hmm. Do you not understand how like video works? Like once we record it, fam, it lives forever. Like they're gonna have this, they're gonna play this in court. Like is what I'm trying to tell you. Well, he's being sued. Who you'd ask? By the very people he gave money to. And you know why? And you know why he's being sued? Because it's a federal investigation, and the first one that comes to the table gets the deal. That's how it works, fam. So all those aspiration employees and executives who know they're about to do Fed jail time, they said, "What can we offer you?"
Me. I'm about to sing.
What? I just want to talk to Steve Ballmer for a second, fam. Have you never watched a mafia movie or like Goodfellas or any type of federal crime drama at all? Like, do you not understand how crime works? You're in trouble.
Well, the thing is I don't think Steve Ballmer. I don't think he was thinking he was committing a crime. Well, a legal crime. He was committing an NBA crime. But
right.
Who cares about that? That's just losing draft picks. You can circumvent that. I don't think he was intent on creating like actual federal crime.
So it didn't tip off to him when the FBI started to investigate this that he wasn't in bad waters. Like that never dawned on him. Like,
well, the FBI gets involved after he's already committed whatever crimes there are. I think initially he was just committing an NBA crime.
In his mind, right? In his mind,
yeah. It's like if I get caught, well, they'll just deem me for some draft picks.
Right? No, fam.
To which, if they're
He's
smart,
going to jail.
He ain't going to jail.
Not a real jail. I mean, it'll be like he'll be able to play like.
He won't even do that. People that rich don't go to jail unless they commit murder, and even then, he ain't going to jail.
Even then, right?
Somebody else, his homeboy whose daughter was working for Aspiration. Now he might be in trouble.
Well, let me ask you this: will he lose his franchise?
Probably not.
Is it really a loss to lose the Clippers? Like, is that really?
The reason why he won't is because the Clippers play in a brand new arena where the NBA All-Star Game is being played this year that he funded.
That's hilarious.
The other owners like Ballmer, and so
they do.
And so the only reason why the former owner, that piece of crap, the only reason why he got out of the league is because all the other owners hated him.
Right.
It was really just because he was cheap in the way he did things. They didn't hate him because he was racist, because most of them are too, to be honest.
Right.
But the other owners, they all like Steve Ballmer. I mean, Steve Ballmer's a likable guy, so I don't see. Plus, I don't think Adam Silver's going to bring down the hammer. Yeah, and I don't think Adam Silver's going to bring down the hammer on him.
He may not have a choice, though. He may not have a choice.
If the other owners like it, if the other owners don't want him gone, he ain't going nowhere.
I don't think he'll go all the way to taking his franchise, but I do think they're going to pay a significant penalty when this.
They're going to pay some penalties.
Yeah,
draft picks. Which, if they're smart, they'll unload those now. And you're like, well, we don't have any draft picks to get rid of. But they would unload Kawhi. They need to trade. They need to get rid of Kawhi. And
my God.
And then go from there. But like, I don't see the NBA really doing that much because it's only so much they can do anyway. So I don't really see them doing that much to the Clippers to begin with.
NBA got to get the FBI out their business. This is like the second or third thing that the FBI is investigating.
I mean, that and the gambling stuff, yeah.
Right. Get them out your business, fam. Like, what are y'all doing? Okay. Got a new game for you, Kendrick. Call it good? Oh, we'll see.
I like this game already.
I mean, we talked about the Bulls. Are they good? Or we'll see.
They're in the Eastern Conference. I'm going to say they're good.
You see, they're good. Wow, look at you stepping out on a limb on that.
Eastern Conference.
Pretty significant.
If they're in the Western Conference, I'd be like, we'll see.
We'll see.
They're in the Eastern
Conference. Right. They're in the Eastern Conference, so anything is possible. Anything. Right now, if the playoffs started today, the Boston Celtics would not be in it. Now, that's not surprising because, they have a gaping hole in their team right now.
I am surprised by how poorly they're playing right now, though.
Are you really?
Yeah. I thought they'd be better than – I didn't think, they'd be a contender. But, I thought they'd be better than, 3-5?
Yeah.
It's just not that bad.
I saw the Anthony Simmons trade as similar to the
I thought that was Cowboys low key really good trade.
And see, I saw it as being no different than your Cowboys trading for my guy at the Green Bay. Like, he's not dominant where he is, so why would he be dominant in Boston? Like, He's just an okay player. But again, it's early. We're only 7 to 8 games in. We got
Yeah.
it. I'm going to go with a little bit of you. We'll see on that one. What about the 76ers?
I am kind of, even though they're in the Eastern Conference as well, I am kind of like a we'll see on that one too.
Yeah.
How sustainable
Yeah.
is that? Because, they're doing it without Embiid for the most part, and without Paul George. But is that sustainable for 82? I don't know.
I'll say this. I absolutely think Tyrese Maxey is outstanding.
Oh, yeah, he'll be an all-star.
I think Edgecombe is the perfect student to Tyrese Maxey's mentorship. Like he has figured it out, and Edgecombe is, and you see the bond that they have already.
Anybody who's been around Tyrese Maxey for 5 minutes will have that bond with Tyrese Maxey. This is the kind of guy.
They're building something culture-wise there that I think they have not had since before Embiid. Because I don't think Embiid is a good culture guy. Like and I know people say, no, he's a good teammate. He is, but it never feels like those 76er teams are connected like other teams, and it doesn't feel like they have great culture there. Whereas now it's starting to feel like they have a good culture that they're building. So I'm going to say they're good and maybe great. We'll see as the season unfolds. What about the Spurs?
I think they're good.
I think they're
really good.
I think they're better than what we all think.
Yeah. They're going to be challenged, and they could be a Western Conference Finals team.
They're 5-1, and they don't even have all their pieces yet.
No, De'Aaron Fox hasn't played 1 second yet.
I think De'Aaron Fox, and they got 2 other players that are significant bench players. I forget their names because we're still learning the Spurs team. Haven't had to learn the Spurs team in a long time, so this is all different. But yeah, I think they are. They're a problem.
And this coach, I couldn't even tell you coach's name. I know his face.
I don't know his name either. Yeah, I've seen his face, but I'm learning his name. Again, haven't had to really know the Spurs for quite some time, and now we do.
And you can tell he's paid very, very close attention to Pop. You can tell Pop's his mentor, and it's obvious. And so they're a contender. I can see them. And I can see them being in the Western Conference Finals this year. I don't know if they quite have enough to overcome the waves that OKC can come at you with, but I'm intrigued by the skinny guy fight between Holmgren and Wemby, the rivalry between those two. Put them together, they weigh 200 pounds.
Yeah. But you know what though? Even more than that, I'm extremely interested in seeing a De'Aaron Fox, Shai Gilgeous battle, a Kentucky battle. That sounds interesting to me. Seeing those two go head to head. What about the Bucks? Is this real? Are the Bucks for real? Like, are they going to be able to save Giannis?
There's no reason why the Bucks should not be for real. If you have Giannis.
That should put you in the conversation.
It makes
most
no
nights.
sense. Right? I mean, just putting pieces around him. Because like with Miles Turner, you basically went out and got a younger, more athletic Brook Lopez, who was great for them, who played great with Giannis.
Yeah.
And so, and you still got Kuzma. Like, there's no way they should not be legit, especially in the Eastern Conference. So I'm gonna say, yeah, they're good.
You know what I can't tell? I can't tell if Giannis is enjoying himself or auditioning.
I think Giannis just goes out and plays ball. It doesn't matter.
Well, because like in New York, he's talking about this is my city. I'm like, no, it's not.
I do think part of it wants to be in
Milwaukee.
New York.
Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you?
I think if anywhere, he wants to be in New York, either New York or LA. I think he does kind of like the big city.
He wants a big city. He's tired of living in Milwaukee. No more bratwurst. I get it.
Those cheese curds are real though.
Yeah, cheese curds is a solid eat. Was it poutine? What is it called?
Poutine, yeah.
Poutine? Okay, yeah, it
Yeah.
ain't poutine. Uh,
Poutine.
poutine. Uh, I don't. I guess they're. I'll have to believe they're real because it's Giannis. So um, here's where we have some real fun. The Lakers, are they for real?
I think they're for real until they try to ingratiate your boy back.
I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming.
I'm gonna say they're for real.
Yeah.
Well, as much
Well,
as
it
I like,
depends on what they ask your boy to do. Like if he comes back and he says, "Oh, I'll just give y'all this 15, 20 minutes, 25 minutes a game."
I don't think he'll do that. I mean, I think
not
he'll
his
come
DNA.
in. The thing is though, his DNA also includes distributing the ball, making the right basketball play,
Right.
and so I think he'll be okay. Of course, we're talking about the Gout King, and
It's not
so
gout. It's not, let me help my audience. It's not gout. It's sciatica. It's a totally different old man disease.
I don't think the Gout King will come in there and totally just ruin what they have going. I think he's going to
No.
come in there and he's going to fit it. Now, do I think they got enough to win a title? No, but I do think he'll come in there and fit right in. I do think there's a possibility of history repeating itself with LeBron and Ayton, kind of like Kobe and Dwight, where some of Dwight's personality didn't mesh with the way Kobe functioned, and I kind of see that with Ayton and LeBron.
I think it depends on how loud LeBron is willing to get, and I think.
But see, LeBron's not as much of a jerk as Kobe was.
Right. LeBron is a get along,
and I say that
guy,
affectionately.
for the most part.
I don't mean that to disparage Kobe. Jordan's a jerk, but he sometimes that's the competitiveness in them, just how they're wired. LeBron's going to handle it differently than Kobe would.
I think Rob has done a far better job with this roster than people thought that it was. Like people said, "Oh, the Jake LaRavia thing, that's not a big deal." It turns out
I love LaRavia. I've liked LaRavia for a while. He's one of those players that fly under the radar. He's one of those players. He's not going to go out and get you 30 points a game, but he's going to give you solid minutes. He's going to play good defense. He's got good size. I've always liked LaRavia.
Well, the irony of LaRavia is that he has kind of forced everybody else into their positions. So, like now, Vanderbilt doesn't have to do all these things. He's not counted on to make the big shot anymore. If he makes one,
when has he ever been? No one's ever thought.
Well, no, that's not true. They wanted him to hit shots. That was one of the. Now, I'm not saying the JJ Redick coached Lakers wanted him to hit shots, but for sure, the Darvin Ham wanted him to make shots, and that's not what he does.
If what Darvin Ham wanted, then I can see why he's not there.
That's exactly right. Because that's not what he does.
Jared Vanderbilt's a defensive guy.
Exactly.
He's a great defender.
And that's the point of having Jake LaRavia. Jake LaRavia kind of pushes everybody back to what they do. Rui Hachimura is now a spot-up shooter in the corner, which is where he shoots. He doesn't shoot all over the court. That's not what he does. He's the new version of what's my guy with all the shoes that everybody loved with the Houston. Played in Houston.
Jones. I see I can see his face. Yeah.
We're having an old man moment right now. But yes, he's that, and he's a younger version of that,
and a bigger
version. So now everybody's in their right positions, doing what's right, and so now it makes sense for Jake LaRavia. It makes sense for Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart looks like he's starting to look like Celtics Marcus Smart all of a sudden. So. Everybody's where they're supposed to be. So
Hachimura, when they first made that trade for Rui, this is what I expected from him. It just took him a while to get there.
It just took
when they made that trade initially, I was like, "Oh, they got a steal there," but it hasn't quite. I mean, he's been fine. He hadn't been bad, but how he's playing now is how I expected him to play.
Exactly. So I think they're for real. I just think I agree with you. It's too early to completely say they're good because you do still have to bring in LeBron. You still have to bring back Gabe Vincent, and then you've got to put all these
Do you have
pieces
to bring
on the.
back Gabe Vincent?
Well,
That kid the other night who went off on Portland.
listen, Nick Smith just made Gabe Vincent's hard job real hard.
Yeah,
Because
he made Gabe Vincent expendable.
if Nick is gonna play like that, and by the way, vis-a-vis, Brian James played outstanding the other night.
Did he?
Outstanding. Outstanding. Played, it wasn't about his points, it was about his minutes. And he did all the things you need him to do coming off the bench as a reserve. He made the right reads, he made the right passes, he played solid defensively. He did a lot of good things to justify himself being on the court. And I was like, that's interesting. Gabe Vincent better come back ready. Because if he doesn't, Gabe Vincent can find himself in another uniform by the trade deadline.
Look, I've been an avid supporter for Bronny from day one because I think he catches a lot of unfair flack because he's never been anything but a seemingly a nice kid, a good kid, and like he gets flack just because he's LeBron's son. But the kid's a solid player.
You see him hugged up with DeAndre Whitfield and Sally Whitfield's family.
Yeah.
They love him.
Because he's always seemed like a nice kid, though.
I think he's a great kid. I think
he'll be a fine player. Is he going to be a star? No. He'll be a good glue guy. He'll be a good glue guy on your team. I don't think he'll finish his career as a Laker. I think once LeBron retires, he's probably going to bounce around a little bit.
Not at all.
I do think he's a good, solid player, and he's always seemed like a good kid that just catches a lot of flack because of who his daddy is.
I think what he has to do is continue to put good tape together constantly. If he can do that, his future in the NBA will be fine. I can easily see him becoming a KCP in the league. Like just somebody that's solid on defense, can make some shots from time to time, contribute exactly what you need to contribute, and then go home and, live a good life, being married to Sally Whitfield's daughter. So, so there you go. They're going to, listen, I saw the pictures. DeAndre Whitfield hugged that young man like it's just a matter of time, son. I'm just gonna love you right into this family. LeBron James, absolutely. I'm gonna love you, sir. It feels inevitable with them. Okay, that's all we got for our first ever good or we'll see. I think it turned out well. You got any other? You like it? Okay. Do you have any other thoughts about your team? I'll give you my thoughts about my team, but Memphis.
I don't have much high hopes for them. I didn't have much high hopes for them coming into the season anyways. I didn't like the roster construction. So
yeah,
but they at the same time, I don't blame them. They got to do what they can do. They got to do it. It's hard for small markets in the NBA, and so it's hard to get free agents. You have to build through the draft, and so they had to trade people. They got to trade parts to get picks. And so they're not in a position to where they can just get rid of picks and just build. So it's going to be a struggle this year, regardless if John and Jaren play all 82 or not.
Interesting. Will Bronny Hayes ever? If he falls into the right situation.
Yeah. I can see him being. Yeah.
Falls in the right situation.
Nah, I mean, look, there's been some way worse players than Bronny win championships. So. You can sit on the end of the bench.
Let us never forget that Mark Madsen has 2 rings. Just saying.
Hey, man.
It's not hard to find a ring.
Bad Dog gave him some good minutes though when they needed.
You just got to fall into the right situation. Speaking of rings,
right place at the right time.
Right place at the right time. Speaking of rings, as we get to the other stuff, the Dodgers win. Sometimes we are prisoners of the moment, and I will admit that before I make this statement. But I will say, this is for sure, if not the greatest postseason World Series that I think I've seen it's in the conversation. At least in my lifetime, this was phenomenal.
It's the
And
best
yeah,
one that I've seen. Now I'm not gonna
yes,
argue with other people and say if it because like I admit I don't watch the World Series every year. I was glued in from the opening pitch to this World Series. This was an
yeah,
unbelievable World Series. I wish it could have gone
outstanding.
11 games.
Yeah,
It was that
it
good.
was outstanding. It was outstanding, and I don't know who's better on that team, Shohei or Yamamoto. What he, yeah, I don't see. I'm a baseball lifer, and so I've been watching the World Series since I was a wee lad, and so I've seen probably, if not every World Series, pretty damn close. Like there was like a 3 year period when I became a father that I didn't watch, but you know, most of the time I've watched. I those two guys, Shohei Otani and Yamamoto, man, that Yamamoto thing in Game 7.
What Yamamoto did is
That
unfathomable.
it
That's not
doesn't
real.
happen.
That does
It
not
doesn't
happen.
happen. It doesn't happen. You can't do that. You can't come back a day later and pitch like that. That's not how it works.
You know,
It's not how it works.
but we'd be remiss if we didn't shout out our Louisville boy.
Oh, listen.
Will Smith had the season
Apparently,
of his life this year.
apparently, the key to winning the World Series the last 6 years is to bring Will Smith to your team. That's how you do it. And the irony of it is he did it without slapping anybody or putting unnecessary women in his mouth. Like that's I know, right?
You forgot you probably should have said unnecessary women's names in his mouth. So
Names. That's what it was.
yeah,
It was
you
names.
left out
It was
a very key word in that
very,
statement.
very key. I just heard it. I just heard it. I just heard it. Sometimes you don't hear it, and now I heard it. But listen, Will Smith, the last 6 World Series champions, all have something in common. They had Will Smith on the team.
But it's two Will Smiths. I think you forgot that part. There's two of them.
Listen,
Because this Will Smith has always been on the Dodgers. There's another Will Smith floating around out there who's got a couple rings too.
the key is to have a Will Smith on your team. The actor or one of these two guys that play baseball. But you need a Will Smith on your roster to win. That's what I'm saying.
But that Louisville kid, he was great, and I mean, let's say he was a all-star for the first time in his career. He had the best
Yeah.
season of his career, and then to cap it off with the game-winning home run.
I mean,
The World Series, and
that's what you dream about, bro.
so for people who have never been here to Louisville, they have giant signs on the sides of buildings saying such and such is Louisville. Like there's a Muhammad Ali one, there's a Jack Harlow one, of course. There's a Jennifer Lawrence, the actress. People who don't know, Jennifer Lawrence is from Louisville.
From Louisville.
Justin Thomas has one. Will Smith's getting ready to get one. They haven't really talked about it yet, but Will Smith's
going to happen.
Will Smith's going to get one of those. Junior Bridgman has one. Will Smith is next on the docket for that.
100%. 100%. Do you keep up with the Sexiest Man Alive?
Nope.
I didn't even know who this was. Jonathan
I
Bailey?
saw that. I was like, I don't know who that is.
I don't even know who that is. I think he's from, I don't even know, man. Jonathan Bailey. I think he was in a show doing a thing. And that's probably the extent of it for me. Jonathan Bailey. Let's see. I don't know. He's the sexiest man alive, and so okay. Congratulations. Yeah, apparently that's a significant honor. I don't know what you're supposed to do with that title. Like, does it get you a meal somewhere or discount at your favorite like retail store, or does your Amazon Prime stop lying to you, tell you that the package is going to be there tomorrow when really it's going to be there 2 days later? Like, what is the benefit of being the sexiest man alive is the real question.
It's the first time then like I have absolutely no idea who this person is. Usually when they name that sexiest man alive, even if I don't know much about the person, I've at least heard of him. I don't
Yeah.
know who this dude is.
I don't know who he is. I have no idea.
I like my man
And
Zaslow says all the time. I don't know that fool.
I don't know that fool. I know he's an actor.
I figured that.
Okay, and then okay, well this is I guess this is the reason. He is the first openly gay sexiest man alive.
There you go.
Well, there you go. So there it is. He's in Wicked. He's in Wicked.
Okay.
Did you watch Wicked? Have you seen Wicked?
No.
Okay, I have girls, so don't judge me.
Yeah, I'm not judging.
Yeah.
But a reason why I didn't see is because I heard it's only like half of the stage show. So I'm like, why am I only gonna watch half of it?
Well, because they did 2 parts. They show you the first part, and now this year, in about a week and a half, they're going to show you the second part. But can I just tell you?
That's about 5, 6 hours I have to dedicate to this movie.
100%. But can I just tell you though? Can I just tell you though?
Yeah.
Can I just tell you though?
I imagine it's good.
Phenomenal.
I mean, I believe you.
Let me tell you why it's phenomenal, real quick. We've been lied to.
We've been hoodwinked.
We have been hoodwinked. All these years, I have been on, thinking the Wicked Witch of the West. She's so bad. She's so evil. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Well, I mean, the stage show Wicked has been out for a long time, so that this is not a new revelation.
Yeah, but unless you're in that community, you don't know. You don't really know.
I mean, Wicked's been around since the 80s.
It has, but come on. You can't name 5 people in your circle that have seen Wicked.
The movie or the play?
Either one.
I could because I know a lot of actors.
Okay.
My boy Juju Papier, my boy.
Don't. Shout out to Juju. You know Juju? Well, he went to Fur Creek, didn't he?
With my older brother, yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I forgot Juju went to Fur Creek. I forgot.
My boy Rush Trowell.
I ain't seen Juju in a long time. Wow. Okay, but anyway, the point that we're making here
Shout
is
out
that
to Rush Trowell.
Rush Trowell. Okay.
We went to Murray together.
Okay, so listen, it's a phenomenal story. I'm a fan of Wicked. The girls convinced me, and we watched it one night, and I was like, this is actually really, really
I am
good.
so glad that you've ingratiated yourself with 30-year-old breaking news.
It's not. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. See, that was very condescending. It's not 30-year-old news because most people don't even know. They don't know.
It's a 40-year-old play. A lot of
people
what?
Know. I wish we could go back and do the man on the street, or I encourage you to do the man on the street. Matter of fact, when you go in the office today, find out how many people before Wicked, before the movie Wicked, knew that the Wicked Witch of the West was being railroaded out here in these media streets.
So for one, I work with mostly kids, so they don't know anything.
That's my point.
Because these kids I work with are 24, 25 years old. But
that's my point.
Anybody who was old enough to remember when this show originally came out in the 80s.
And by the way, I think Jacob is right, but I'm a hold off for the day.
For knowing Juju Papier and Rush Trowell. Who outside of Louis? Get out of here.
But that's why he said it. He said it feels like a humble flex. I don't know. We will investigate that, Jacob, and return a verdict for you at some point.
I don't trust this court.
I'm just saying, we got to look at these. We got to look at all the things that happen.
You asked me to say, who do I know that would know?
I did. Which is kind of a setup. If we're being honest. Also, you kind of invoked Jack Harlow again, so I have to look at that as well.
I was talking about this is people's Louisville.
Listen, man.
You gonna game me for Muhammad Ali and Jennifer Lawrence?
We will humble flex wherever a humble flex is needed. So there you go.
It's not needed.
Speaking of not needed, apparently the Jake Paul Gervonta Davis fight was not needed. It was never needed to begin with, but it definitely got a lot more complicated after allegations that Gervonta beat up his girlfriend. I guess I got to give Jake Paul some credit for saying, hey, man, I'm not going to let you beat up your girlfriend and pay you. I'm not doing that. So he canceled the fight immediately. So for those who were planning to watch that, next weekend, I guess it would have been.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's over. So there's that.
Wake me up when Jake Paul's series.
Is over. Yeah. Well,
I
he'll
think
be
it's.
in
I
wrestling.
think that's the thing. I think that 15 minutes is almost up. I think people
Well-
are on to the fact like you're not fighting real fights.
Exactly. Well,
And
he's
then
probably going to
now
join
he's
his
on
brother.
here. Now he's on here talking about I'll sue you if you say it. Man, sue me because there's a whole thing called discovery.
Yeah. It's he'll join his brother at some point in the WWE and make a killing there too.
Yeah, because I
Like,
think people are tired of it.
by the way, his brother is killing it at WWE.
His brother's
Absolutely
is
killing
legit, right? Yeah,
it.
his brother's legit.
He's a
at it.
legit wrestler.
And I think he'll be good at it. I mean, he got a good mouthpiece on him. If you got a good mouthpiece and good
That's all
physique,
you
they
need.
can work with you.
All
And I
you
think
need.
he'll be great at it. But I'm tired
All
of the
you
boxing thing.
100% because it's not real. Not to me either. This was weird to me.
This was on our news yesterday before the plane crash.
Well, because it's legit. It's a legit story. Because all of our lifetime, they've been on PBS. They've led. We need your donations, and your donations are going to allow us to stay on the air, and this, that, and the other. And through a series of very unfortunate events, to no fault of their own, there are no more donations coming in. So to save them, Netflix stepped in and said, "Bring it all over here. We'll do it here, and we'll actually pay you guys a decent wage." So
Yeah.
now Sesame Street has Netflix, and it's bizarre because we never thought that would. And by the way, I don't know how I don't know if they bring the entire catalog or. I don't know how that works. I don't know how this works on Netflix.
It depends on what they bought, but but like actually, it's a good move for Netflix.
Oh, 100%.
And a good move for the brand of Sesame Street because now it's even more accessible. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't know where PBS is on my TV.
No clue whatsoever.
So for the Sesame Street brand, I'm surprised that Disney wouldn't been the one to pick them up, but big shout out to Netflix for that.
I would imagine Disney probably attempted it and Netflix just outbid them. Like, although it's weird to say that because Disney's money is so long, which is ironic though because Disney's struggling with YouTube TV right now. That's the weird. By the way, there's a lot of upset people this weekend.
I'm one of them because I'm like both of these. Or now I'll say off the top, it's most likely ESPN's fault, or because they're raising their rates, trying to get. They're doing this on purpose, is to get people over to that app. Because when the app came out, and I was like, I have ESPN on my YouTube. Why do I need to buy another app for ESPN when I've got it right here? So, and that's why they're raising the rates. Yeah. But I'm like, at what point do we stop being greedy? At what point does the federal government, which I know they want, what do they step on all of this TV stuff? Because it's like every 6 months, there's one of the DirecTV, YouTube.
Somebody is beefing
with
TV.
or beefing with ESPN and ABC. Or NBC or CBS. It's all of them. Yeah. And it's like every 6 months, maybe every 4 months. And it's like, when did we step in and stop this? Because this is stupid and it's not fair to the consumer. How much money we have to spend to watch anything? It's unbelievable.
Well, let me say this. I saw this coming a mile away, which is why I went ahead and bought the ESPN package. I was like, this is going to be a disaster at some point because ESPN is what ESPN is doing is positioning themselves to be their own, or what I say ESPN, but the truth is it's Disney. What Disney is positioning themselves to do is to have their own thing. And by the way, if you're the other networks, you almost have to acquiesce because their thing is so well put together with Hulu. Because by the way, for those who don't know, Disney owns Hulu. So they have their thing so well put together that they're kind of they've been driving the traffic that way for a long time anyway. Because I always used to wonder, how does Hulu Live and YouTube TV coexist? Well, they don't. That's what this is about. They're like, we got our own thing. We don't really need you. And so that's where we are. But so like I said, I was one of those people who saw it coming a mile away, and now I'm also having to have some considerations. Like, do I really need? Because the only thing I watch YouTube TV for is the sports, and now that I don't have that, I don't know.
And
Can save that money.
let's,
So
I mean,
don't
really,
know.
if we're being honest, we're saving them at this point is Sunday Ticket because they lost the NBA League Pass too. So we're saving them is Sunday Ticket.
Sunday Ticket is the thread that's keeping it all together. So it's a very interesting problem that they're having. I feel bad for all of my friends. I was getting calls from friends who have YouTube TV, and they're like, "Dude, how are you watching the game?" I'm like, "Oh, I got the ESPN thing. I got the whole thing because I saw this coming."
So this is
this was easy.
So this is where it gets shady though. So I've had for years the ESPN, Hulu, Disney bundle.
Right.
But because my TV provider is YouTube, I cannot watch ESPN.
Well, you can't. You just got to upgrade your bundle to the other thing.
Right.
That's all it is. And if you do the math, it actually kind of works out. To be honest with you, I'm not trying to advocate for them because
I know because I'm paying for it anyway.
Right. So you might as well pay the extra whatever and just go ahead and get the whole thing. But which is how I justified it. But now I'm looking at YouTube TV going, well, if I got all this over here and I already have the NBA package, then what exactly am I holding on? Because the shows that I watch on ABC, like Abbott and Law and Order, I have Peacock and I have Hulu. I don't really need, So we'll see. We'll see where this goes.
Hulu Live.
Yeah, we'll see where this goes. But I'm not really watching live stuff other than sports. That's the problem. Like
during the day, I do like before I go to work and stuff. Or like if we're sitting in at night, if we don't feel like locking in on a show, we'll scroll through and find something on live TV.
And you'll watch it live?
Yeah, like last night we sat there and watched 2.5 Men on IFC. Like we do that all the time, and so.
Yeah, but you don't have to, is the point. Like, if you want to watch 2.5 Men, there are plenty of ways to do it.
Yeah, but like if I'm just scrolling through live, we still we're old school at that.
You're old
you
school,
may not
bro.
know what we want to watch, and you scroll through and find something.
All right, fair enough. I think appointment TV is all but dead. It's for sure on life support, and I think that's part of the problem that YouTube TV is having. Like, they're thinking everybody wants to schedule their.
Well, Hulu Live has that too. I mean.
Yeah, but Hulu has everything. They got your commercial-free shows now. Like I don't have to watch the commercial if I don't want to. So it's a different experience. I don't know where this is going, but it doesn't feel good for YouTube TV. They got to figure it out. To me, I think it's hurting them more than it's hurting ESPN.
Yeah, well, I mean, DirecTV, they're doing fine. Their stream's fine. I left. I mean, matter of fact, DirecTV, they busting heads over there. I don't even know how they stay around because they are so much more expensive than everyone else. I mean, I left DirecTV for YouTube TV, and my bill is like almost half what it was at DirecTV.
Same here. I had Spectrum, and Spectrum, with all due respect to Spectrum, I was like, oh, man, this is a lot of money.
It's a terrible product. They're always, every time I go to the grocery store, they're trying to sell me that terrible product.
Well, see, now the Spectrum deal is over. We were like so close, and this is playing live, and it's over now. So anyway, did I miss anything? Did we miss anything?
We didn't talk about. I don't think we talked enough about how well your Lakers are playing.
It's going well.
They are playing really well. I like to pick on you, but they're playing really well.
It's a great audition that Austin Reeves is giving to any team that are interested.
You're not talking about any team.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm talking about two teams. And by the way, the sale went through, and Mark Walters said from the podium at the parade, "Oh, I'm not done." And I don't think he was just talking about the Dodgers. I think Mark Walters is about to own LA in a way that we haven't seen in quite some time.
What else is there to own besides the Dodgers and the Lakers? Think about the Kings.
The people. He wants the people now. Because if you keep winning with every franchise you buy, you're the king.
Well,
and that's where I think he's headed. I think Steve
I
Ballmer,
wish
hold my
you,
beer.
but you're talking about Austin Reeves looking good for a
Mm-hmm.
trade.
Mm-hmm.
What if the trade is somebody else who's not playing?
I think that's part of the trade.
Oh, you think about pairing Giannis and Luca,
I don't think
and
you get Austin Reeves. I don't think you get Giannis without putting him in the trade. Now, I don't think he'll play in
he
Milwaukee.
ain't going to Milwaukee, so it'll be had a
Right.
three team trade.
That's my theory. I think it's a 3-team trade, and it. Let's just say this. I don't think that the Lakers roster for this year is set yet at all. But I think the pieces are coming together in a way that you can see, oh, there's potential here to do some bigger things. But this is for sure Luka's team, and they're building around him.
Mm-hmm.
And they, much like they did with Mookie Betts. It's Mookie Betts' team. Now let's put all the pieces that Mookie needs to be successful. Let's give him a dynamic player, Shohei Ohtani. Let's give him the pitching. Let's give everything. But Mookie was the first domino to drop, and it's worked out ever since. I think they're using the exact same blueprint. Because who saw that coming? Who saw that coming with Mookie Betts in 2013, I think it was, and then when that went down from the Red Sox? Nobody. They were a championship squad, the Boston Red Sox. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, the Dodgers like, we'll take that. And now the Dodgers look like they're going to run off 5 or 6 more. Like, I don't know what. You're right. I don't know how you stop this team. You got to play some of the most. Toronto played some of the most unbelievable baseball you've ever seen, and they fell short. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But
the crazy thing is, though, if that ball is getting stuck under the wall, Toronto wins the World Series.
Toronto wins the World Series. And then Mark Walters says, okay, let me go move some other pieces around. I think Mark Walters is interested in winning, and that's it. Because he understands winning means dollars, and it's going to translate into dollars. You don't spend $10 billion. The thing that I keep trying to help people understand about where the Lakers are now is that you don't spend $10 billion. He just spent the most that anyone has ever spent buying a franchise. You don't do that if you're going to have them be mediocre. No. In your mind, you're saying, we're going to the Western Conference Finals for the next 10 years because I want to recoup this money.
Who would be the third team in that trade, though? Because it would have to be.
I think it's either Cleveland. Yeah. Maybe New York. Maybe
New York. That's about it. Maybe Houston.
It's got to be somewhere that's a contender.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, honestly, I could even see Golden State being in that trade. Because it's going to be a destination place for LeBron and Bronny.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a destination place for them. Somewhere he's always wanted to play, or a return to a place he feels comfortable. One of those two things.
Yeah.
But I fully expect this to happen. I've quietly said it to anyone who's willing to listen, but I think Austin Reeves is auditioning. And by the way, he's doing an outstanding job.
Is it quietly saying it if you say it to everybody you talk to?
I don't say it to everybody. I just say it to you.
On a podcast.
Shout out to Killer Cam. I said to Cam because he's a Laker fan. We've been comparing notes. And I said to all of our listeners who are growing by the day. So there you go. All right. Let's shout out to people, man. Let's shout out to people as we get ready to hasten to a close, as the preacher would say.
I got once again. We started the show. We got to shout out the first responders and
absolutely
everyone involved at the plane crash out at Muhammad Ali Airport. Like I said, it's just a tough situation all around, and so many people involved in trying to keep everyone safe because, like, that could have been. Like I said, top show. It could have been way worse than it was, and so just shout out to first responders and to the UPS family, because UPS family is huge here in Louisville. It's a hub,
100%.
And so there's going to be a lot of people affected by this. So just shout out to them.
Absolutely. Normally don't mix politics into anything we do with sports on Noise Media. We got 2 different shows for that. But I do want to give one shout out last night that I thought was outstanding. Shout out to Mary Sheffield in Detroit. If you go research her story, it is absolutely fascinating because she's a young lady who is the definition of I got it out the mud. But she's a preacher. She's I think her dad did some stuff in politics and just she seems like an all around good solid lady. She's our age, I believe, and she is now the mayor of Detroit, the first female to ever hold that position in Detroit. That is, to me, that is so dope, and to do it in a way, because nobody, they were all trying to talk her out of it, saying, you're too young. It's not, Detroit's never done this. They did everything, and now she went from, not obscurity, because people in that area know who she is, but she went from, being a local politician and a city fan favorite to now she might be the female Obama. Like, she is wildly popular now and going to be more so as the next couple of years go on. So keep an eye on Mary Sheffield. And then just because I love a good WWE moment, shout out to the new mayor of New York, because I just think that's a funny story. Zoran Mamdani is his name, and how he just came on last night. My favorite part of the whole thing was when he said, "And if you're worried about me, turn your volume up." I was like, "Okay, that's kind of dope. That was kind of dope. That's kind of a hip hop like moment. Like, it felt very Jay-Z-ish, Nas-ish. I kind of like that. That was kind of dope. So I just thought that was cool. But yeah. Shout out to those moments last night. I thought those were cool. But yeah, I don't have anything else about that stuff. I don't think there's anything else. Does anybody else need a shout out?
I think we doing tomorrow anyway. So
we're doing tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow we'll talk about the trades and all that stuff. We'll get to all that stuff because I'm very curious to know what my brother feels about the trades. I'm very, very curious to know about that.
Tomorrow's ACC.
No.
We'll talk about the U not being back again.
Hey, we're definitely gonna talk about the ACC because this is a wild run to the finish line. We're gonna definitely talk about that, but also Quentin Williams. We're definitely talking about that.
We need to talk about that for.
We are talking about it.
I'm actually happy with it, but I'm like, I don't see the point.
I think listen. Surprisingly, I think it's good too, but I don't get it. But no, that's not true. I do get it. And we'll talk about it tomorrow, because we're done today. All right? That's Kendrick Haskins, Lloyd Spence. We're standing with you, Louisville. God bless.
Y'all, we got it. Scoop in. 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 Y'all, we got it.
That's how we go. This is not a game, it's the press pro.